Yo, welcome to Fast Forward Mindset Motivational Podcast. I'm your host, Coach James. This is where we rewire your thoughts, reset your mindset, and fast forward your life. No more rewinding, just discipline, motivation, and the truth you need to become unstoppable. If you're ready to elevate your mindset and take control of your future, you're in the right place. Let's go. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hope all is going well. So, y'all really don't know what to say other than my Broncos is in the playoffs. And we'll see what happens. I mean, it's looking good. It's feeling good. We'll see. So, but anyways, though, y'all, I got a question for y'all. Who in the room is a hypocrite? Who in the room is a hypocrite? That's not a trick question. It's not a funny question. I'm being 100% serious right now. If you're a hypocrite, raise your hand. You can't see me, but I raised my hand because there was a point in time in my life, several times, where I was a hypocrite. And let me say this, okay? I don't want you to take hypocrisy and make it sound like it's the worst thing ever. Because in reality, if God didn't create us to be hypocrites, he would have made us perfect. But unfortunately, he didn't make us perfect people. He made us to be hypocrites at some point in our life. Maybe not all our life, but at some point in our life, we're going to be a hypocrite. Every single one of us. So if I ask you again, don't be offended. Don't be afraid. Just raise your hand. Because at some point, either we have been a hypocrite or we will be a hypocrite. Let's talk about the definition of hypocrite, though, before some of y'all want to continue to hide in the closet, okay? The definition of a hypocrite is the the wow, I'm losing my mind, my train of thought. The practice of claiming to have morals, standards, and beliefs. Morals, standards, and belief. That's the definition of a hypocrite. The practice of claiming to have morals, standards, and beliefs. And what's funny is that some of us are raised with beliefs. We're raised and we're brought into the morals that have been in our family since our ancestry days. And because we were taught those growing up, some of those things tend to stick with us. Now, by all means, I don't want y'all to think I'm judging your ancestors. I don't want y'all to think I'm judging your family morals or your beliefs. I'm here to make a point today. And the one point I want to make is give you the definition of what a hypocrite is. This is why I say we've all been a hypocrite at some point, because we went against our morals, our standards, and our family beliefs at one point in time in our life. I remember I was hanging out with a group of people. And y'all, at this point in time in my life, I was just everywhere. I was all over the place. I didn't know who I was, what I was, or who was within me. But I started hanging out with this group of people because I felt like we had commonality. I mean, we would do some of the same things together. I mean, recreational things. Recreational things is how I'll put it. But because they did some of the same things that I did, I found commonality with these people. Now, Just because I found commonality don't mean our morals, our standards, and our beliefs are the same. It does not, right? But you find a group where you fit in and you start to get in where you fit in. And that was my scenario. But we all went to the beach. We went to Venice Beach, for a matter of fact. It was a weekend, like a quick, hey y'all, we were sitting there just again enjoying our recreational commonality. And somebody said, let's just go to the beach this weekend. And so we did it. But anyways, we started walking Venice Beach and uh, it was crowded. The beach was beautiful. I'll tell you that. The scenery was beautiful. There was some beautiful women there. There was some nice looking guys. There was some guys with their abs out. There was some women with their you know what out. But hey, that's a whole nother story. Okay. But it was a fun time. And it was some nice looking people there. But one of my buddy I was with, I went with a buddy and a girl. And no, me and a girl was not dating. Let me just clear the air. She was just there. She was like one of the bros. And I know some of y'all have had female friends, the guys, that's just like one of the bros, and that's what it was. But so we decided that we were gonna go get our eyebrows pierced. I probably was about 7 to 8 beers in, maybe even a couple shots. But anyways, so we go to this little piercing spot on the beach, and the guy looks at us and he's like, "Hey, what can I do for you guys?" And we're like, "Hey, man, we want to get our eyebrows pierced." So yeah, that day I really became a man. So I sat down there and I'm shaking, I'm nervous, I'm sweating. Mind y'all, I'm probably about 6 or 7 brews in already with some shots. And so of course, I'm nervous. So the guy pulls out this needle, pretty big long needle, and he was like, "All right, this gonna hurt a little bit." I said, "Huh?" He said, "This gonna hurt a little bit." I said, "Go ahead." And so he stuck that needle in my eyebrow. Woo! Probably y'all, that probably had to be the worst pain I ever experienced in my life. I mean, but I got it done. And so I got my eyebrows pierced, walking around. It's throbbing, but I'm buzzing, so I don't feel it at the moment, right? And so we end up going to some little restaurant, seafood restaurant at the beach, and that probably cost $150 per person. But we did all that. We was going to go out that weekend. It was a short weekend, but it was a fun weekend. But so we get through the day. Uh, the next day we leave and we head back to Arizona. And I get home and first one outside is my dad. And my dad, I get out the car, I'm getting my bag out of my trunk, and my dad looks at me. Because I was worried about what he's gonna say about my eyebrow anyways. I already knew he was gonna be the one that was gonna give me the tough love, right? And so I get out the car and I'm like side-eyeing, I'm like, I know he looking at me. I know he looking at me. And so I shut my trunk and I'm walking up and he like glares in on me. And like when he glares in on me, I was like, damn it, he see it. I mean, of course he was gonna see it. It's an eyeball piercing, right, y'all? Come on, let's be real, James. But anyway, so he sees it and he glares in on it. And he was like, "Boy, what in the world have you done to yourself?" I said, "What?" He goes, "Your eyebrow. What in God's name would possess you to get your eyebrows pierced?" Y'all, he looked right at me in my eye and he says, "I didn't raise you to do stupid shit like that." That's tough love from my daddy. That's pretty much how he spent things. It wasn't no sugarcoating it. It wasn't no watering down. It's just how he spent it to you. And how he said it is how you heard it. Don't try to change it and say he said it nice, because he didn't. But he said that. And in the moment, it made me really question my morals, my standards, and my beliefs. Now, beliefs at the end of the day are just opinions, right? It's just opinions. You say tomato, I say tomato, right? It's just opinions. But when my dad said that, it made me think of my morals and my standards. And I stopped to think in my mind that my mom and dad would not and did not raise a man to get his eyebrows pierced. No, there's nothing wrong with getting your eyebrows pierced. It doesn't really symbolize anything. It doesn't mean you're a good person, a bad person. It just means you did something different. That's all it really means. But when my dad said that, it really made me think of how him and my mom raised me. And I stopped and thought about it like my parents didn't raise me to walk around with my eyebrows pierced. Now that I'm older, I think about it, y'all. It was kind of silly, but it was in the young stages. I was in the young stages of my life where I was just trying different things. Would I do that again today, knowing what I know? Heck no. But I did it then. And I went against my morals, my standards, and my beliefs. And that's why I say to y'all, at some point, we have all been a hypocrite because we've done something that went against the way we were taught, the beliefs, our morals, and the standards that our family set forward. So the question today is how do you eliminate hypocrisy? Now, like I said, we gonna be hypocrites here and there no matter what. That's just what it really comes down to. But when I say eliminate, how do we minimize it? Because I think that's the real thing. How do we minimize it? Because we're gonna say and do stupid stuff that we shouldn't do or believe just because filthy stuff comes out of our mouth. Actions just take place the way they takes place. You know, it's one of those things when you say a word to someone, right when it comes out of your mouth, you want to take it back like, no, but you can't because you said it. So it's too late. But how do we eliminate hypocrisy? Number one, know your worth. Man, you getting your ears pierced, you walking around with your eyebrows pierced. It doesn't it doesn't minimize or diminish your worth, but also at the same time, it doesn't increase your value. You are who you are, whether you got the the piercing or not, right? But I feel like that if we know who we are, chances of us being a hypocrite for a long period of time is going to minimize. And when you know your worth, you have self-love for yourself. Like I told you a minute ago, I will never walk around now with my eyebrows pierced. Never. Because I know my worth. I have enough love for myself to know that that isn't going to change or make me look anyway. It's not going to help me fit in any crowd. It's just a piercing. So number one, know your worth. Number two, be grateful. I mean, I feel like y'all that if I was grateful for what I had, how I looked at, the things I had achieved, there was no way I would have made a decision to do that because gratitude would have let me know that I should be happy with who and what I am. I really feel like that day that I got that piercing in my eyebrow, because I was going through a lot of stuff at that time. I mean, y'all, I was going through a lot of stuff, a lot of changes in my life at that point. But I feel like if I would have been grateful for who I was and what I was, I wouldn't have done it. But I wasn't grateful. I didn't have that much value for myself. My worth was very, very low for myself. So, number one, know your worth. Number two, be grateful. And number three, be aware of your surroundings. Check your surroundings on a daily basis. Sometimes we put ourselves with people that we should not be around, period. Yes, sometimes you put in the scenarios where it's just people around that you really wouldn't hang with. That's not of choice. And that's not what I'm talking about because sometimes that happens. I'm saying the surroundings of people that you surround yourself with. Make sure you're aware of that because sometimes we put ourselves in a circle with people that all we have is commonality, but our morals and beliefs and standards are way different. It's off third base. That's what I'm saying. Check your surroundings. Be cautious about what you say, how you say it, and when you say it. How do you eliminate hypocrisy? Know your worth, be grateful, be aware. And last but not least, I cram this all up in one word, the truth. Because when you know the truth about yourself, when you know the truth about your morals, your values, and your beliefs, the truth will set you free. Hey, y'all, thank y'all for listening. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to follow the podcast. That way you never miss a moment to wire the way you think. Hit that follow button, y'all. It's waiting on you to hit it. You need that daily reminder. I'm not hard to find, y'all. I'm on IG all day, every day. It's James Watkins at 40 and Fit Life Coach. If you have not checked out my website, go check it out. It's www.rewirethewayouthink.com. If you're interested in my coaching from my website, click on the link. It'll take you to my page. Set up a time and date with me, and we'll chat. If you're struggling today with thoughts of suicide, thoughts of hurting yourself or someone else, please don't hesitate to call a suicide prevention hotline at 988. Hey, y'all, I'm Coach James. Let me help rewire the way you think. And as I always say, practice daily mindset rehabilitation. And that's my 2 cents in it, y'all. Peace. Thank y'all for listening to today's episode. And remember, don't rewind your life. Fast forward it. Until next time, keep moving forward. Hey, y'all, I'm Coach James. Let me help rewire the way you think. All right, y'all. Peace.